What's up, yo? Oh, that's what's up. Oh, that's beautiful. Peace, House of Sufyan. Are you the one that asked me? I heard what you were saying, babe. Are you the one that asked me, Sufyan? You the one that asked me to send you my PO box? Was it you? What's going on, JoJo? Tina, what's happening, Tina? Did you get my DMs about this SoFi situation? Did you see the video I sent you with the uh major excavation we doing in the back of that SoFi bread? Nice little nice little change. Nice little change. Little thousands from nothing. Bliss mushroom brand. What's happening with with them shrooms, man? What's happening with them shrooms? Mm. Charlanta in the house. In Charlanta. Huh? Okay, I got it now. Let me see. The house of Ty Mizzles. Where you is at? Where you at, Ty? Trying to get my son up in the building. Let's hit him up. Nigga, we hit him up. I'm gonna make that note right now. I was like, damn, who is that asked me that shit? I gotta catch it today. I was hoping you tapped in. Um, I was looking at this IG last night and I saw that New York got the National Guard in the train station back in the police. They don't have any like authority to act there. They can't arrest anybody and shit like that, but they basically just like bolstering the police and shit, standing behind the police while the police are checking everybody's bags and shit. I think it's like centralized at Grand Central Station. What's going on, Retro Rich magazine? Um, Tizai, where you is at? I see you on here. Where you at? Where you at? But yeah, man, they going crazy in general, But this is not new though. Like, and this is not out of nowhere, right? Many years ago, there were plans put in place to essentially rob all the people of everything that they had and subjugate them and subject them to, being controlled and limited in their life and their ability to enjoy their lives, take everything, and a lot of people are very inclined to give everything up for, I guess, a sense of safety. You know what I mean? What you say, House of Sufyan? All migrants. New York City is a third world city now. Ain't no doubt about that. I lived in third world countries, so I can tell you. I lived in DR and I spent a lot of time in Mexico, and I can tell you that it's just like that. It's just like that. Definitely, definitely got the third world visage going. It's crazy, crazy. Adrian Glassell, what's happening? Oh, is it Adrian Glacali, or Adrian G. Lacal? I don't know. I don't know. The city should have voted for Isaac Wright. You motherfucking right. You're right, Adrian. They should have. They should have voted for Isaac, man. Seriously. Isaac would have got him right. Like, Isaac is a true and actual decent human being. And he's not afraid. Isaac has looked down the devil's throat. You know what I mean? And yanked his heart out, right out of his chest. Guy sticking his arm down the devil's throat. Isaac put his foot in the devil's ass. Ain't no two ways about that. Seriously. Inventor Sebastian, what's going on, Inventor Sebastian? Thanks for tapping in. DAP_USA. Appreciate you, man. I'm waiting for Ty. Where the hell? Oh, okay, there he is. There he is. What's taking so? Why is it not letting you come on? I'm hitting the thing, Ty. I don't know why it's not letting you come on. Go live with Community Ty Mills. Okay, let's go. I don't know why it won't let me go live with my son Ty. What's the deal with this, man? Send another request or something. I don't know why it's doing some bullshit. Glad that you're well, Sebastian. My scalp is itching. My hair tied up in that thing all day. Feels good though. Feels good after having it braided. He said, sleep up the good work. I didn't say keep up. You might keep up the good work. And I sure will. Some sleep would be good too, you know. Swear to God, I don't be sleeping, man. That's what I get like 4 hours at a time at best. Try_state_hustler NYCVIACT. That's Tri-State Hustler, New York City via Connecticut. What's going on, Tri-State? You good? I see. I get you, Sebastian. I appreciate that. And y'all can show your appreciation by going to my website and copying one of my or more of my books. Me have to support one another. With this, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, black people are definitely spending more money than most everybody else, right? So I can't say that it's a matter of us not having the resources. Resources. We just don't tend to allocate our resources to one another's efforts and products and services. Um, a lot of us have, you know, we never left the plantation mentally. Mentally, we still, you know, it's like Harriet Tubman's favorite famous quote: "I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000. They knew they were slaves." If you're not supporting, quick to go and buy something that somebody who's not one of your own or selling or whatever, then you you have a slave's mentality. In your mind, you are a slave. You know, if you're still chasing material items that are made by people who are not you, and you gain some sort of feeling of now I know a lot of y'all grew up without having things, and a lot of you who grew up in the last 20 years or so, you grew up in an environment where materialism, thanks to my generation, um, materialism was the measurement of your worth and your value, right? So I understand that, you know, a lot of you, you know, when you get in a position where you have a little job, little income, or whatever, you know, you want to go and do all the things that you were never able to do when you were a kid. You know, your parents weren't willing to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on material items just so you could be popular or validated by your other poor friends. So now you got $2, you know, you got a little gig or whatever, a little business going on, whatever you got going on. And now what's going on? I am 5'11". Now it's like, okay, I want to show them, whoever them are, you know, I want to let them influence me to make decisions that are not in my best interest, whoever them are. And now they're going to see whoever they are. And um, you're mistaken if you think that they or them will give up if you drop dead. It won't give a fuck. They won't care if you drop dead. So to be making decisions about the amorphous them or they and what them or they are going to think, or wanting to show or prove something to them or they is a huge, huge mistake. Huge mistake. Unfortunately, it's become culture within our group, and it's materialism. You know, where you're doing things that don't serve you, throwing your money at things that don't serve you, that don't contribute to anything other than a momentary sense of um, validation. And you know, you're setting that example for the people who you influence, like maybe your children or your younger siblings or whatever have you, people in your neighborhood who might look up to you, stuff like that. And it's a slaves mentality. It really is. 1988 East Orange. I remember cats in on North Walnut and William Dapper Dan down, Audis and rope chains. Yep, that's facts. That's facts. You know, just caught up, and it was a dope time. You know, fashionably and all that energy and all that. It was a dope time, but a lot of people never grew past that adolescent type of validation. You know, that shit was about adolescent validation. You know, wanting to be popular, wanting to be accepted. You remember being a kid and there were teams picked for different things, and you know there were kids who like never got picked. Like nobody wanted them on their team because they wasn't fast enough, or they weren't cool enough, or they weren't cute enough, or they weren't fresh enough, or whatever, and they didn't want to pick them for their team. Those kinds of things impacted a lot of people, a lot of people, and those things drove their drive. It made them want to do and be and have the things that they wanted to do, be, and have, you know, as opposed to something inside of them that was of them, you know, that was external influence, making them into someone that they wouldn't have otherwise been. And a lot of people never grew out of that. They got stuck in that way, whereas everything they did was based upon what they thought other people were going to respond to. Connected one double underscore was popping, man. Ty trying to tap back in again. Willfully to work this time. J Toy 921, thanks for tapping in. Once you receive the validation, human nature makes you want more. That's right, because it releases, that's what Bobby Oceano, what's going on, Bobby? Bobby Oceano 1. What's happening? Yeah, y'all need to tap in with me on the situation. I don't know, you know, saying how y'all doing financially, you know what I mean? But I am apprised of how people in general in our society, in our community, the melanated community, not doing well collectively, not doing well. Don't front, stop the bullshit, not doing well, you know. Um, Many of you, most of you, based upon what is happening now, are never going to be able to uh, own homes, you know, own property, like, which is the foundation for wealth building. You know, you're never going to be able to do that because one, you lack the information as to how to even become, you know, that, you know, how to meet the criteria for such things. And two, you don't understand the necessity for cooperative economics. You want to give your money to the people who want to build cells and jails to put you in, and your children in, and their children in. You know, you want to give all your time and attention to things that are not contributive to the condition that you say out your mouth that you want. You don't want to watch a documentary that's going to teach you anything. You don't want to read a book that's going to teach you anything. You don't want to go listen to someone that's going to teach you anything. You're only interested, again, getting back to the low self-esteem and being cool and being accepted and being picked for the team. And you're losing your way. You know what I mean? So I'm on to a situation that I've been picking up some bread like easy as fuck, and it didn't cost nothing to participate in it or be a part of it. Um, my mentee, Shaq the Shark on IG. That's Shaq with two Q's. Shaq the Shark. He has a credit company called Credit Sharks, which is how my credit got up to the 750s and shit, right? And it wasn't a whole lot, and he didn't take a whole lot because he knows what he's doing. I'm trying to get you in, Ty. I'm tapping it, and it's just not bringing you in. I don't know why. And and so I don't know why. I don't know why it's not doing it. So um uh this situation is through a company called SoFi. They're an online bank, and I picked up a couple of thousand doing it. So I started fucking with it like on the 19th of last month. My wife picked up about a stack so far. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna show a video. I'm gonna share a video with y'all. Impala _club. What's going on? Thanks for tapping in with the Pop with the Pop and Son. As soon as I can get my son on there. What's up, son? Where you at, son? You trying to get on? And I see what you said there. The underscore house underscore of underscore Sufyan. Speak on it, he said. I've seen adolescents throw their life away because they wanted the allure of the hustlers back in the day. That's a fact. Thousands, thousands, thousands. I personally knew. Um, um, that's right, connected one. That's right. Nobody taught it. You know, I personally knew hundreds, hundreds. It's a lot. Hundreds of individuals, specifically the individuals that got caught up in the allure of the hustle lifestyle and had no clue what it actually entailed. All they knew is they could either get some money or they can go to jail. But a lot of them coming from households where people were good and well behaved and church going and law abiding and shit like that were also given the idea that if you are not an actual bad person, then no matter what you do, you know, you'll be all right because you're not an actual bad person. You know what I mean? And so I see you tried to I see you tapped in with your other page too, Mo, with your life mills. So you think they hating on your comedian Ty Mills
They
joint? You think
hated on me, son. I'll be getting in trouble.
yeah, they hated on that page. Yep. They wouldn't let you join. I don't see you though, bro.
You can't see me?
Nope.
That's crazy. I look
Nope.
good.
Well, you stole my face, so I'm inclined to believe that. Uh, uh, Impala said, I think Alpo Martinez was way cooler than Mano, to be honest. Way cooler than Mano. I mean, Mano, the uh, homie, that's my little homie. That's my little bro. Mano, you talking about Mano out of Brooklyn? Rapper Mano? Uh, High Haters. and 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 if you're saying that, if you talk about Mano, my man Mano, that is the rapper out of Brooklyn, that's got that dropped that new joint with what's little homie that's trapped off down there with that situation, Young Thug. Mano just dropped a video with him and Young Thug that looked like they just shot it yesterday, and the song is mean. Victor Victor Liu IW. I don't know how does it. Victor Luai. I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to pronounce that. Larry Walker 2463. Trey Oxen. It's one of my originals right there. Character wise, no comparison to the person that said that. Yeah, so I'm saying, like, Tina, you know, I don't know what the comparison would be. They don't come from the same time or place. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the comparison would be. And yeah. And what would you base it on? Do you know when you say you think Alpo Martinez was cooler than Mano? To be honest, are you basing that on? Uh, did you know Poe? Do you know Mano? You know, um, they kind of personality wise, they kind of remind me of each other in terms of the gregariousness of their characters, the personability of their characters,
Yeah.
and um, they're kind of like also not giving a fuck of their characters. You know what I'm saying? They both got that kind of same energy in that respect. But I'm able to say that because of my intimate knowledge of them or whatever. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're from, so I wouldn't know what you would be basing your assessment on. But I'm curious to know, though. I'm curious about people's processes. What makes people think what they think. You know. So what's
Media,
going on, Ty?
media makes them think what they think. They be reading posts, and then these YouTube.
Hey,
You'll watch some shit on YouTube and think you really know it just because it had that music and it be sounding convincing. Then they put all these different clips and shit together. You be like, nigga, he killed all them people. Like the King Von's a serial killer. He killed everybody in Chicago and came to Atlanta. It's like that could be true, or it could be some bullshit. But if you put some eerie music behind it and play a bunch of facts, people will just believe it. It's like that Michael Jackson documentary that they took down. That
what Michael Jackson
they
documentary took down?
Oprah was talking about it. She had the dudes come on Oprah's show, and they was talking about, Michael Jackson touched some kids and Never Neverland and all this stuff. And then when they looked it up, like Never Neverland didn't even exist in the time frame of when they were saying this stuff happened. There was so many facts that you was able to look up and find out it wasn't true that nobody looked it up. Like Oprah just brought these niggas on TV and they had them on Netflix and they had a whole documentary and they was talking about Michael Jackson and then it was,
Buyer.
disproven.
The thing is, even now with the internet and Google and any other search engine, people still don't do any research. I mean, back when Oprah did that, and Oprah is obviously an elitist attack dog, emphasis on the dog. But people just don't, people like to believe, and that's a question too. Why do people, I'm going to state first, that people like to believe the worst about people. They like to believe it.
Yeah.
And they don't like to do any research to negate that preferred belief or idea about a person. They want to believe the worst, and then they want to not do anything that could undermine that belief or that idea. Even with all the information that's out now or available now, people still don't do research.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, babe. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like it's sad. It's sad. And what's really crazy, bro, when people do the kind of dumb, low level shit that people do, and and they stand on that type of dumb shit, and then the bullshit that goes with standing on that type of dumb shit happens. All they have to say after the fact is, I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't know. But they was yelling, yeah, nigga, nah, nigga, that's what it is. It's like this, and I know, and blah, this, and the other. And as soon as they get like shown that they are absolutely off the mark, oh, I didn't know. No big deal. No big deal.
Melissa Ford was on she on the Joe Budden's podcast and she talked about they was telling a story about Cam and Mace was talking about being in a whole house in Harlem. And they was like, they talking about how they was in the whole house and they took a girl up out of there and all this other stuff. And Melissa Ford, she heard the story. She's like, what if there was underage girls? What if they were around underage girls? Like, there's a lot of sex trafficking and, kidnapping of little girls and all this stuff. And it was just like, they were like, why would you put that on their story? Like, why would you put that they might have been with underage girls when they was already telling you some shit that they shouldn't have been doing? And then when Mason Cam clarified, they called all types of hoes and gut butt bitches and shit. They talk bad about her. And he was like, yo, actually we was 15, 16 years old in the whole house. Like we wasn't supposed to be in there. So we was the children that was in there having sex with adults that we wasn't supposed to. So we was the victims. So like stop trying to make every man some type of like villainous guy that's going around there kidnapping women. Like when you don't have to do that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that she did that in an effort to try and do like most of them do, get a viral moment so that once she does that, then these low vibrational idiots with these podcast platforms will go, oh, everybody talking about this, that this person said, we got to get them on the show. You know, like there's something of validity that this person can offer or bring. You know, it's just about, attention.
Yeah.
Attention. It's just that shit there is gonna be the end of everything, bro. It's gonna be the end of every fucking thing. Seriously. Like niggas doing everything for attention.
For real.
Somebody asked if Carlos Letter
Niggas
was
kill
still
themselves
alive.
on Instagram. Nigga go live and kill herself. You be like, nigga, like it's over after that. Like it ain't no more lives after that. Like you done
But but
peaked on
but
followers.
but he thinking about how many views he gonna get though. He gonna get mad views. And it's funny, they don't realize that there's so much shit going on that a motherfucker's subject to not even notice you killed yourself
Yes.
on live.
Yes.
You know?
Don't let
Like the kid out of Baltimore. The kid out of Baltimore had about maybe 72 hours of attention. 72 hours later, he was still just as dead, but 72 hours of attention, and then it was a wrap. Nobody, in fact, I'll guarantee that most of the people that are hearing this right now don't have no idea who I'm talking about, the kid in Baltimore. This just happened. That was,
I don't
there
know
you
who you're
go.
talking about.
Last month. Kid in Baltimore gets on IG talking about all these bodies that he did. I killed so and such. I ran down on this and giving details about how he supposedly ran on down on this one and rocked him and called him by first and last name and killed this one and called him and then caught these two and killed them. And now at the point at which he comes on, he is got a wound in his chest because he stabbed himself in the chest, right? And he's like, he's assured that he's gonna die. It's not like he's standing there bleeding profusely or nothing like that, but he's assured he's going to die. And, so he's talking all this shit. The police are outside. He's sticking his head out the window, sticking his camera out the window, showing the police outside, and he's hollering at them. And they're not saying nothing. They just kind of like positioning themselves, around his position. He's inside of an apartment in some, little tenement or something like that. And he does all of this, telling that so-and-so is not locked up right now for doing this and doing that. He didn't do that shit. I did that body. And blah, 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 this and that and the other. And he didn't do that body. I did that body. He took claim for about 10 bodies, right? 10 other young black people that he murdered.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, I'm already dead. So I'm already dead or whatever. But, of course, I called some of the little homies in the town, and they said, yeah, he dead. He definitely died. But ain't nobody talking about that shit. He did all of that for what? Somebody asked, was I linked with the Colombians back in the days? This 1980s _ era. Who are you? Do we know each other? Are you from the 1980s era? Are you from that era? And everybody was connected to the Colombians because that's where all the yay was coming from. So I was getting mine from, if not my family, I was getting it from the Dominicans who were getting it from the Colombians. The Dominicans in Washington Heights were getting it from the Colombians in Queens. That's where all the for some reason they were all setting up in Queens.
One of the corner stores. Go up that hill and walk in one of the corner stores. Hey, Papa, you
Stop
cook?
one. Shout out to Stop One. Tina said to House of Sufi and Oprah have all these people taking Ozemp to lose weight, and it's killing people. She's a puppet. Oh, word! I don't know what Ozemp is, but
it's some shit that they get. It's a shot that they get and they using it to lose weight. I don't know what it's really for, but they just be experimenting. It's like the pills to make your dick hard was some heart medicine, and they was like, oh shit, niggas dick getting hard. Well, let's use it for that. Like they didn't know what the fuck.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's some crazy shit. People are just fucking stupid, man. That's the bottom line, and they want to be stupid. Always looking for shortcuts. 1980s _ era said, I think Adam 22 is going to get indicted. He has surrounded himself with gangbangers. I've only ever watched that dude Adam 22's podcast once or twice. Both times it was Benny the Butcher, and it was in preparation for the conversation that I would end up having with Benny like a week or so later. You know, I binge watched all of the interviews that Benny the Butcher had done. Shout out to Benny. Shout out to the whole Soprano family, Harlem Zone.
They
You
was at the
know,
bonfire Sunday.
oh word, yeah, yeah, yeah. They, I fucks with them young boys, man, and I fuck with Benny and his movement, man. I fuck with how he bringing cats in and bringing cats together and giving cats opportunity. You know what I mean? Um, um, yeah, I see that, Trey. I'm gonna definitely talk about that. You see that what Trey Oxen asks? Do you believe the stats that the suicidal rate among black men is increasing?
Hell
It has
yeah.
been increasing. It has been
Hell yeah.
increasing. It was increasing back when I was doing Don Diva, and I stopped doing Don Diva 18 years ago, and it was increasing then. It was increasing back then. I was watching those kinds of stats back then, and it was increasing back then. Absolutely.
Niggas killing
Absolutely.
themselves. They drugging themselves out their mind. Or niggas that commit suicide by cop, act like they on some real tough guy shit, but do something that they know is crashing out.
That's right. That was one of the ways that it had increased. You know, cats behaving in manners and circumstances that they knew would absolutely get them killed. I spoke to parents of guys who done that. You know, I was gonna do a big thing on it in Don Diva back in like maybe '04 or something like that. I had met with a woman. I didn't actually get to meet with her. We were communicating via the phone. I was connected to her. I think my man Kirk Bone had introduced me to her over the phone. I don't. It was either Kirk Bone or Kirk, the other Kirk. That him and I don't know what happened to that dude. They were doing a project together, and this woman whose son had killed himself, she started an organization that began to put emphasis and focus on the increase of black men, young black men killing themselves. I have since, I've known, Rodney, he's dead. He got killed. You remember Rodney, of course. Uh, People in Atlanta knew him as Black. He's from Cincinnati. But Rodney's younger brother, who was 18, he killed himself. Um, Cincinnati had a high rate of young black males killing them. It's like an epidemic. This is a few years ago. It's like an epidemic of young black males killing themselves. I'm talking about teenagers like 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, left and right. And the thing about things that begin to trend is when you're dealing with young people who are highly susceptible to external influence, and they see a certain behavior, and that certain behavior becomes prevalent, they're more inclined to consider the behavior, no matter how extreme it is, just because of its prevalence. That's why you have to be mindful of what your children are watching or engaging, or like the video games they play. Me and Benny, we talked about this. Me and Benny the Butcher in my conversation. If you haven't seen it, go to my YouTube channel, Kavari Online, and see the 4-part conversation we had. And we talked about it. We talked about the influence of the video game industry as opposed to the rap industry. The rap industry, yes, to a degree, of course, it has its image and its influence. But before cats get into that music, a lot of them have already been deeply indoctrinated in these games of violence and antisocial behavior on video games systems. You know what I mean? Like when I first saw you, Todd, playing Grand Theft Auto, and you might have been like 14 and um, 15 or so, and we were at my man Mr. Fingers, the producer who produced Holla Holla for Ja Rule and a bunch of other hits for Murder Inc. And we were there talking to him and his wife, uh, uh, Evie. Damn, it's been so long. Evie, I think it was her name. Super talented, super
Basement.
talented.
He was
I
in the
think that, yeah, we're in Queens. I think that she helped him because she could produce her ass off.
Yeah, I
You
remember
know,
she was.
but I think she might have done some of
He
this
was
stuff
in his.
over.
Nah, he was in that deal where they wasn't letting him do anything, so she started turning up. cranking them hits out because
Yeah,
they was running it through her.
right. She wouldn't. They wouldn't let him. Irv and them wouldn't let him produce for anybody else. And they wouldn't give him any work, but they wouldn't, based on contract he signed, they wouldn't let him do work for nobody else, which was some very, very sucker shit. Starving the man out. He gave y'all some great hits and y'all starved the man out. But we were at his house and you were playing the video game while we were talking. And I just kept glancing over and looking, and I was seeing, like, the motherfucker was talking about, giving contracts and points for shooting people and assaulting women, all kind of shit. I said, hey, man, get the fuck off that game, man. What is that shit? He was like, this Grand Theft Auto. I said, yeah, get off that shit, bro. Get off that. Like, if I wanted you to be exposed to that shit, nigga, I'm the real Grand Theft motherfucking Auto. I want you to be exposed to that shit. I could expose you to that shit. I could take you out there and show you. I could take you out to the streets of Bmore in D.C. and Richmond, Virginia, and Charlottesville and Charlotte, North Carolina, and all over the motherfucking place, Greenville, Greensboro. I'll tell you, yeah, you want to see that shit for real, for real? Like, fuck out of here with that bullshit. There ain't no game, nigga. That's indoctrination. That's brainwashing. You know what I mean? And I talked about these stats on that interview that I did with Benny the Butcher on my YouTube channel, Cavario Online. Check it out. Gave him stats. I told him about his town, where he came from. I told him about the time he was born into and why he was so inclined to make the kinds of choices he did as he grew up because of the circumstances that existed before him. You know what I mean? So, yeah, to answer your question, I do think that the suicide, I don't, the question was, do I believe? I don't really do belief. What I do is I study and I research and I do, cross comparisons to different sources of information, you know? And that way I come into a knowing and I don't have to base my shit on belief, that's for religious shit. I'm not on that. I ain't on that. I have a scientific mind. I have a logic-based mind. I don't just take some shit because somebody that I like or somebody I respect said it. I never have. Which has a lot to do with my outcome and the difference between my outcome and the outcomes of my peers. Sonny boy, hey, what's going on, man? What's happening with you, son? Talk to me.
Man, chilling, man. Just kicking it today, man. Today was a good day. It was a nice outside. Just a vibe.
What's happening in the town, man? I know it's getting warm, and I know also that, again, a lot of cats, as I was speaking about earlier, a lot of cats are not doing well financially in our community, and it's not getting any better because they're not keeping pace with what opportunity looks like in the 21st century. Motherfuckers are still looking for money in the places and the ways that we got it back in the 80s and the 90s, even in this 21st century, at the early part of the 21st century. But those ways and means are gone. Motherfuckers are not adapting. They're not adapting. So they're missing out on how to make it now, and it's leading to desperate behavior. So how's that manifesting up there? Because it's been, or down there rather, it's been getting crazier and crazier down in that town, bro. Like I don't even feel Atlanta like that no more.
It's it's up and down. It has its days and it has its days where it's bullshit. But yesterday was a pretty decent day. I was at Trap City, so they had the comedy show, Tip, Tiny, everybody. Then we all went out to Magic City afterwards, hung out, kicked it late hours of the morning. So I'm hanging with the rich people. I'm hanging with the people with the haves, not the have-nots. So I ain't worried about that poor people shit. The poor people, go be poor. We over here eating steaks and lobsters, looking at titties and throwing money on bitches and shit. Like, shit good over here. We having fun. We having fun. We doing ignorant shit.
Jesus Christ. Um, yeah. Ooh, boy. Have you talked to your mama lately, man?
Yeah, I talk to my mama all the time. My mama, we be on the phone. She be FaceTiming me, making sure I'm not being crazy. She caught me one day. My mama got, how your mama got that sixth sense. She'll call me and be like, "What you doing?" I'd be like, Mama, I'm glad you called me. I was about to slap this nigga with this pistol. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home because that's God telling me I need to go mind my business and let this shit go. Hey, how you doing, Mama? I just stay on the phone, Mama. See, I be paying attention. I be listening to the signs. I know the Lord is working in my life. and he want me to succeed.
Well, your mom is one of the kindest people that I've met in my lifetime. You know, and uh, and and loyal like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah. Did she ever tell you that I used to shoot at her feet all the time, make her
yeah,
dance?
definitely. Told me you used to shoot at her feet. Y'all different. Y'all different. The fact that she still like she is a different type of woman. How you kept dealing with a nigga that liked to shoot at your feet is crazy. Like some of the relate stuff that you just did, like girlfriend, like he introduced I got a brother that I'm older than by 28 days, y'all. Like
32.
he took 20. I'm the
32 days.
28th and he the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 30 days and then it's two. Oh yeah,
Yep.
32. You right. 32 days. So yeah, we ghetto twins. We
People
ghetto
always
twins.
used to say, "Oh, they twins." I'd be like, "No,
Close. Close.
it's close. It's close."
So he introduced my mama to my brother's mama, said, "Wife, this is girlfriend, girlfriend, this is wife. Girlfriend, we're going to the movies and we're not talking about this." And what do you say to a nigga that already shot at you before? Like on a happy day. Like you don't say shit. You just go to the movies, y'all watch Terminator or Ninja Turtles, whatever the fuck y'all see, and y'all go about y'all day.
Yeah, I was uh, out of my mind, realistically. You know, but she always saw the best in me somehow. I don't know how, I don't know how she wasn't terrified of me. I mean, I guess she was, you know what I mean, but at the same time, she trusted me. You know what I mean? Me and your mom made a lot of money together too, man. Your mom had it, man. Your mom would get on that motherfucking train with $500,000 of dope. Word.
She didn't
With
tell
half a
me that.
million dollars worth of dope, man, and get on the motherfucking train and ride it up and take that shit to be more like nothing. She used to do that shit like every 2 weeks, sometimes every week, like nothing, like fucking nothing, bro. Like nothing, you know. And she would get down on that table too. You know what I mean? Like she'd get down and I'd have her on the table, man, 12 hours at a time, bro. She'd be bottling and capping, bottling and capping. You know what I mean? Like she's a down ass motherfucker for real, for real. Yeah, like yeah, for real. That's my motherfucking nigga, man. Shout out to Sabrina, man. Shout out to Sabrina.
She gonna kick
When
your
I
ass
met your mom,
just for saying all this shit. She gonna be like, why did nigga, why he
she's a
say
corporate,
that?
she's
That
corporate
I'm
now
a
too.
church lady, I'm saved.
We all got to pass. We all got to pass. You know what I mean?
I
That's
be
where
telling
I
her,
believe that's where they say there's people where people's testimonies come from, right?
yeah,
From having been somewhere and done some shit and grown beyond it.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
The 1980s underscore era guy says, before the crack era, young blacks were poor. Man, we had no money. The crack era created a whole new black man. That is a fact. Because I come from before that crack era. I was in the streets before that, before there was a crack, right? And it was different. Guys were different. Dudes in the hood were different. Like, yeah, they were poor, so niggas used to do niggas that was doing shit used to do a lot more like sticking up, chain snatching and shit like that. But they couldn't get access to drugs because the drugs was heroin. And you couldn't just walk up to somebody back in the days and say, "Hey, I'd like to purchase some heroin for redistribution." Or like that at all. That's what I'm talking about. When I say I'm from the era where you had to be verified, but somebody who was qualified in order to be certified, that's what I'm talking about. The heroin era. You couldn't, you know what I mean? Like you had to be selected. You could not volunteer. You had to be selected. You couldn't circumvent the system by going up to Washington Heights with your summer youth check and getting yourself a little 7 grams, a little half ounce or something like that, and having your uncle who's quietly on the low smoking and shit and cook it up for you, beat you out of half of it, and sit there with his friends doing a little fish fry over the weekend and shit, and playing cards and smoking it up, and next thing you know, you got $2,000-3,000 and shit, and you flipping instant drug dealer. Like that's where that shit came from. That's what that era created. And They didn't know shit else about nothing else. You know, you had niggas that was selling crack for years and never knew how to cook it. They used to buy. I mean, I had niggas used to buy 500,000 bottles already bottled from me. So I'd sell them the bottles for $2.50. They sell them for $5, which is a good deal, right? Because you have to do none of the shit, and you just, you doubled your money. You know what I mean? Which is why people fucked with me, because I always gave people the opportunity to make money. You know, I believed in cooperative economics, which is what that situation I was just briefly sharing with you guys. That those of you who are about getting to $1, um, should definitely holler at me about, hit me in the DMs about this SoFi situation that I tapped into thanks to Shaq the Shark, who also, as I was saying, has the credit company, but he also has the tax company and just got wifey back a bag. Oh, bag, motherfucker. Like, but this is where the money's at in the 21st century. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are where the opportunities are. Tapping into, the finance world, and tapping into their cooperative economics and the referral opportunities. I mean, that is how the Kardashians became billionaires. Because they tell somebody, yo, I like this makeup, I like this bag, I like these shoes, I like this boots, I like this jacket. That's how they made their money, influencing other people to do what they're doing. Y'all do it all the time. Every time you tell a motherfucker, yeah, nigga, I got these from motherfucking from the mall, nigga, I got them from so and so such and such. They was 300, you know, and you just did some affiliate marketing. Only you not affiliated. You just sent the motherfucker some money, but you ain't gonna get nothing. So this is a situation where you're gonna get paid to do that, and they paying nice, and they paying instantly, like instantly, nigga. You did. You're gonna sleep if you want to. Nothing lasts forever. Right here, right now, though. SoFi opinion. I'm just saying, like this is not. You know what I mean? Like I smile for a reason, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? How you doing on your shit though?
Um, I
You know,
just
especially.
signed 2 people up today. They gotta put that money in there.
Yep. So once they put the bread in there, that's gonna be $75 for each one of them. Let's see. So if you do 4 people a day, 30 days, that's 10,000. How many of y'all gonna make 10,000 in 30 days? And you didn't spend any money to get the opportunity. How many of y'all gonna do that? How many of y'all are going to be able to make $10,000? How many of you even in the potential condition have an opportunity in front of you that you can consider where you can make $10,000 in 30 days and you didn't put up a dime? You didn't spend no money. How many of y'all know about opportunities like that? I've been getting a lot of money, a lot of different ways all my life. I ain't never heard of a situation where you can make thousands of dollars and you ain't spend a dime. Never, never. And this is a publicly traded Wall Street company. They just built a $5.5 billion motherfucking stadium. It is like, so they're already verified and certified, motherfucker. The question is, who are you? You know, I mean, I suggest, yes, you do your research, but all the scrutinizing and skepticism in the motherfucking world, it's not going to invalidate who these motherfuckers are. I'm about to buy a few hundred shares of their stock, and yeah, they about to eat. They about to eat, and I'm about to eat with them. I mean, they already eating. Obviously, putting up $5 billion goddamn fucking stadiums and shit. Rugenest, Rugenest, Rugenest. That nigga, I don't know what the fuck that mean. I think the crack era made us who we are today. I mean, I don't know who we, who who us, who we,
Society.
who. I'm curious as to specifically whom he's referring to, whom he's referring to. You know, and the crack era is such a broad term, such a super broad term. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's such a general term, and it's such like a commercialized term, the crack era. You know what I mean? We're talking about socioeconomics. You know, not a lot of cats on Instagram, coming out of our group that know a fuck thing about socioeconomics, bro. They just know how to repeat things that they hear. They try and sound like they know what they're talking about when they're engaging people who they believe know what they're talking about.
Hell yeah, that's the social economics of the foundation of the situation. Proclamation, exclamation,
Emancipation. Don't forget the
exclamation,
constipation.
and procrastination.
Oh man, the
And they
procrastination
misogynistic.
like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Hey, I see that Regina is requesting, but we got about 10 minutes left, Regina. Um, Tap back in with us on Tuesday. We start this at 7 generally. So, you know what I mean? The earlier you tap in, the better. And when y'all do tap in, when I tap y'all in, like get with us, 10, 12 minutes, whatever, and then tap out, you know what I mean? So other people can have opportunity if they want. And that me and the pop and the son can, get it popping, son. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a dope opportunity, man. It really is. It's no bullshit about it. Like I'm sure, like this, the work that we got today, for that to have not to have come out of any other budget is fucking dope. Some money that you wasn't even thinking about, and just come out of nowhere. It's like, oh yeah, we can. And boy, trees are dropping. Those motherfucking trees, boy, with them fucking 40-foot tall, 4-foot thick around trees, and them shits hit the ground, nigga. It sounds like Sasquatch feet breaking the concrete. Boy, that shit's like, whoo,
They cut
whoo.
trees down out there.
Yeah, we clearing the back. You know what I mean? About to put a whole luxury complex back there. 'Cause that's what it is to have your own land and to increase the value of your land. You know what I mean? Imagine you spend, a few $100,000 on your home, and then you put, another 50, 60,000 into it. And then that investment of say 400, say you pay 350 for your house, and then you put another 50,000 into it, or even another, 100,000. So now you're in 450,000. And then when you're done with that, your house is now worth $800,000, $750,000. Now you have $250,000 or $350,000 worth of equity. Then you go and you take $150,000 of that equity, and you go and put it into another investment situation. You know what I mean? And that's how wealth is built. That's how wealth is built. Wealth is not built by no matter how much Louis Vuitton you got in your fucking closet, in your apartment. I knew a motherfucker in the Bronx, man, who had a home, an apartment in a little bullshit building in the fucking Bronx. Where you got to step outside and dodge dog shit. Had at least $500,000 worth of fucking clothes in it.
That's some New York shit for real.
And I mean, the whole place was virtually a closet. It was small, and there were clothes every fucking where. Mean shit.
That's the New York dream. Fuck bitches and dress nice. Oh, he the nigga in the hood.
In the hood is the key, though. In the hood. So this is what happens now. People now, in this day, in this age, under these circumstances, in which there is a disparity of about $75,000 to $100,000 between median household income for melanated people and non-melanated people, right? So non-melanated people, average median household income is like 120,000, 123,000. Average median household income for melanated people is like 23, 28,000. Like, so you're talking about like a $90,000 difference on average, 80-something thousand difference on average, right? So with all of the things that are happening now, that are undermining many of the advances that were made for melanated people by way of the struggles of the 60s and the 70s, the civil rights movement and all those kinds of things, all those advantages that were gained to kind of equal the playing field have now been progressively turned back and undone, like DeSantis successfully getting that DEI shit removed. So everybody who was working at those institutions, those educational institutions and colleges and so forth out there in Florida, now they've all been fired because they were hired under the DEI situation, and the state has made it unlawful for them to allocate any funds towards such a thing. Now, one, if you don't know what I'm talking about, see, shame on your motherfucking ass. That's what I'm talking about. But you're not knowing what the fuck I'm talking about. You don't know what's happening. Niggas is chipping away at your life. Now, as a result of such chipping away, right, using Florida as a particular instance, but not a one-off, right? It's happening in different ways in different places all over the fucking place, right? The niggas is too busy paying attention to bullshit that don't matter to them, like the Super Bowl and dumb shit
Ice
like
Spice.
that. Yeah, and
Taylor
who
Swift.
did he and who did he's diddling? You know what I mean?
Diddy.
And
For everybody.
so yeah, for real. Diddy's got his peanut butter in your chocolate. So you know, Jay Wade, what's going on, Jay? When you gonna move, young hustler? When you gonna move? Nothing lasts forever, brother. You know what I mean? So as a result of these things being undone in our community, the kinds of opportunities that once existed are less and less available, which means that disparity between median household incomes for non-melanated people and melanated people is going to grow greater. And with that greater disparity grows greater degrees of desperation and more desperate behavior. And so somebody like the person I was speaking about that lived in the hood in a tenement building with, you know, tons and tons and tons of high-end, real, not knockoff, real designer shit. He is now more likely to be, because people see you in the hood, they see you coming in and out of that motherfucker, you know, wearing thousands of dollars worth of fucking clothes from your shoes on up to your hat every damn day. After a while, as things get more and more desperate, they're going to start to look around at what is most immediately available to them in terms of opportunity. So the first people who are going to feel, what's going on, Ralphie? The first people who are going to feel all right, Ralphie, I'm gonna do that. The first people who are going to feel the impact of this less and less opportunity that's occurring by way of just the world moving forward and evolution occurring in economics are going to be the people who are in the hood, and they're going to be attacking one another because, well, I got 3 slices of bread and you have a whole loaf. That's all you got. You just got a whole loaf of bread, but you got a whole loaf, and I got 3 slices. So, you know, I got to do what I got to do. You know, I got to do what I got to do because this is my situation, so I got to do it. And you think y'all motherfuckers are tearing each other up now? You ain't seen shit yet. And it's on you because you won't fucking think for yourself. You won't move for yourself. You won't take action for yourself. And you got a welfare's mentality and you're entitled. But nobody's coming to save you. And if you won't do it, if you're not willing to do what is necessary to save you, then why should somebody or something come to save you? You won't do it for you. You don't think it's worth your time, effort, or trouble. What are you, stupid? Why? Why would somebody do that? Save you for what? So you can be in the way? Fuck out of here. We got about 30 seconds, son. Want to leave them with something? Maybe you should lighten the
That's
mood.
why they so scared. That was intense as shit. You like the boogeyman, nigga. Like they should let you come in there, go to bed to all the kids. They gonna
Like
take
that's
their ass to
you.
bed. You scary as shit. Ooh,
Yes.
scaring everybody. We about to go. Yeah, nigga. You better. You know they coming. They gonna take your bread, nigga. You better buy a full loaf or buy a full ratchet of guns, nigga. Nigga, that was intense. That was intense. I'm scared. Yeah.
Thank you, 1980s era.